Yo, what's up? It's the solarkidd. Welcome back to the Other Side of the Sun podcast. And I am with the beautiful people of IIYX Africa. And we have Sherry Cannell, we have Shomon, and we have Dave. What's up, people?
What's up?
How you guys doing?
Blessed. Yeah, great.
Yes.
Good to be on the show. Good to be here with you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me. Today's show is a very important and special show because we're going to be creating awareness, and also the guys are going to be talking about a campaign that they've been working on and a show that's going to be taking place in the next 2 weeks. So without further ado, if you guys can just introduce yourself, tell me a little bit about who you are and your involvement with IIYX Africa or with the Indigenous campaign and the Saveoursan campaign, and we can kickstart the show that way. Who would like to start?
Sherry, do you want to go?
Yeah, go, Sherry.
Okay, sure, I can go first. Hi everyone, it's so good to be here with you. So I am Sherry Cannell, and I'm one of the directors on the IIYX Africa non-profit organization. We are based in South Africa, and we are running this hashtag Saveoursan campaign. And yeah, we're really excited to just raise awareness about San struggles. I myself am actually located in Phuket, Thailand, so I'm actually assisting remotely via administration and financial, purposes. But I'm so excited to be here with you, and that's my role. Thank you.
Shomon or Dave?
Bro, Dave.
Okay, yeah, awesome. What's up, guys? I'm David O'Byrne. I'm from Pretoria. I studied at Rhodes University. I studied geology. And yeah, my life was all sort of put on hold in 2020 when I was supposed to go out and, seize the world, and COVID hit, and I was in a very strange time where I didn't quite know what to do with myself. And thankfully, I was asking questions, and when you start to ask questions, the answers come. And thankfully, I was put in contact with Sherry and Q7 in Grahamstown in the Eastern Cape, of all places.
Q7, Q.
yeah, exactly. The man, the legend. So, we came into contact with him, and I was so taken with the work him and Sherry were trying to do. It just seemed like for the first time, it was something really actually trying to help people in a genuine sort of way that I just don't feel like you find anymore. So yeah, I've been rolling with these guys since end of 2020. Yeah, we've done some amazing things, and I think we're gonna do more crazy things. So thanks for having us.
Awesome. Thanks, Dave. Shomon?
Cool. So my name is Shomon, recorded and performing artist from the good old heartbeat of South Africa. And I've always been fascinated by archaeology and history, and had an inner yearning from my soul spirit starseed to share presence with the San, the South African natives. And I met Q7 on occasion over the last 15 years or so through our mutual dear beloved, the late Steve Fatah in Natal. But we never really connected. He would approach me after shows and be at the same protests and events I was at. And then I moved to the garden route, also likewise with Dave, guided to the greater good by the craziness. COVID brought me home to the garden route, and I hosted Q here late last year. He came and stayed with me. I was fascinated walking the mountains with him in the garden route, foraging and finding medicinal plants that are forgotten, and just delving into the knowledge that he offers, and the opportunity he gave me to finally visit with true San blood and to hear their songs, their dance, their claps, to sit under trees by day, to sit under stars by night, and to come to the aid of their plight through the performing arts and whichever other expertise and energies and sponsors I could suffice to bring to the table. So I'm very grateful to be a part of this, to have met the lovely Sherry, the beautiful bro Dave, and everything just goes so much deeper than what I could possibly mention in this introduction. But I'm very grateful to be a part of this plight of the forgotten people and ancient energies that are closer to source than anything could ever be in this wayward world.
Awesome. That's amazing. So we get a digital round of applause for all you guys. Welcome you on to the Other Side of the Sun podcast, where I talk about people and their stories. I also love philosophy, history, art, science, nature, and all the above. I love life. I love people. And people are, everything. That's who we are. That's what I love. So, we're going to be talking today about the IIYX and the Saveoursan campaign. These guys are going to be doing a walk from Knysna to the wilderness in the Western Cape, and this will be taking place on the 25th to the 30th of January. The Saveoursan campaign was created to raise awareness about the current living state and living conditions, and as well to support and assist in developing San communities. So I'll ask you guys, how does it feel to be an active part or walker on this IIYX, and what do you hope to raise awareness, and what awareness do you hope to raise with this campaign?
Do you want to keep going?
Cool.
Okay, yeah. In the
okay.
Order. Okay.
Yeah. Let me. I'm ready to go. I think. So the IIYX was actually it started last year, when around the same time myself and 11 others, we walked from Knysna to Cape Town to hand over a petition against oil exploration in northern Namibia, Botswana region, a very sensitive ecological area, but also home to some of the last San people sort of trying to eke out a traditional livelihood. So that was the birth of the walk, and we just thought, it's such a nice way to deal with the anger and frustration you have when people want to go to a place like the Okavango Delta and drill for oil, and it's a very meditative process, just walking and putting it out on the road. And I think you can work through these issues, and you can raise awareness through them, and that's exactly what we're trying to do now with this IIYX, is now turn the focus onto the indigenous people of Southern Africa, the San, South African natives, and really just start asking questions about these people.
Shari, do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, my personal point of view is it's so good to be, for example, far away, but still being able to make an impact in whatever way possible, and personally, it's been amazing for me to be here and to be a part of the Saveoursan campaign, because number one, you meet amazing people like Shomon and Dave and Q. You get to learn so much, and you get to take your impact and who you are and make a difference, in the next person's life. And we were on the ground, we were, doing the rural and remote assistance. That is what we do. And to be hands-on and to provide, just life, on the ground, it's just beautiful. And yeah, so I'm really excited to be a part of this campaign. I think it's important, and I think that the musical performance that's going to come about is going to be amazing, because we're going to marry like Shomon's urban, part of it with the indigenous space and or sounds and crafts and arts. And yeah, I'm really excited about it. So yeah.
So the walk will be culminating with a live music event. Is that correct? On the 30th, or what date?
Yes, correct.
On the
correct. Shomon will go into more detail, but on the 30th of January at about 1:30 p.m., we'll be having this live performance in Wilderness. And we will also be streaming live on, I think, our Facebook and our Instagram as well. So everyone can just keep track online. And yeah, Shomon, you can go into more detail.
Yeah, tell us about
it. Okay, family. So the walk itself is between the 26th and 28th. Then there's a day of rest on the 29th. And then we have this, not just fundraising for the San community, but awareness raising for humanity concert taking place on the 30th, where we have my music married to their traditional dance and song and claps. And I must tell you guys, I've traveled the world making and hearing music, and nothing has taken me to the stars like those claps do. And I still sleep with a little bit of red sand from when I visited with the sand next to my bed to remind me of that magic. And I'm so grateful that they are coming here to share that with everyone, and that everyone here in the Garden Route has been so receptive to answer the call to what it is they will be able to witness and experience. Sorry, I'm hearing some noise. I'll try and talk over it. Yeah, as a recorded and performing artist that, refuse to sign labels by Sony, BMG, Universal, or whatever, because I don't want to be told what to do with my talent. I want to be able to gift my talent to water the seed that needs to be a tree. And so I'm very, very grateful that I'm able to lend myself and my voice and my fingers on keys and guitar strings, and to marry that and to reciprocate with where it belongs and where it is needed and where it is necessary and where it can blossom and grow for the greater good of the art and of sound, really, So yeah, I'm grateful that there will be enough souls here, God, to experience that and to know that and to feel that, because it's being lost in this digital crazy world that is evolving. Although I must say I'm grateful to it, thanks to where we are right now, we're able to hold this international Zoom and to share concerns and to share support. But we cannot forget the original people, the original sound, the original knowledge, that ties us to source.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's touch on that a bit. I mean, these people that we're talking about here, the San, the Khoi, and, the indigenous people of Southern Africa, they are some of the oldest, they have the oldest DNA that is known. And I mean, these communities are so important. I mean, it's not just in South Africa. You have indigenous communities in South America, in Australia, in Southeast Asia, everywhere, and it seems like these people are being forgotten. And it's not that, as you say, we're grateful for the technology and the time that we live in order to be able to facilitate conversations like this across, international borders, and to be able to talk in real time about issues and create awareness. But like you say, we can't forget the essence of where we come from, and I do believe, for me as a person who believes in technology and science and also loves philosophy and history and art, I believe there's a way for all of this to coexist. These communities are some of the last San people in Southern Africa, and they are in desperate need of food and water. How do you guys feel about the situation? And can you elaborate and tell people a bit more of what these people are going through, to give them, to paint a little bit of a picture of what is the reality right now? Who would like to?
Okay, I will go into it. Dave can then add on. So actually, I think about October, November last year, Q7 actually went down to the Omaheke region, where they asked him to assist one of the elders there, the Gooby family is they're called, and he actually saw the state of the living conditions, and there was no food security, no water security, no support at all. And this is what actually sparked our whole Saveoursan campaign. So I find the Omaheke region, but then also in South Africa, we have the Tun of Platfontein, who Q has been working with for many years. And it's pretty much the same situation. And that's the whole, driving force behind the Saveoursan campaign, is because we want to create, food security, water security initiatives, as well as, allow these people to, have the opportunity to self-determination, as well as to allowing an income from the normal state of arts and crafts and, how they express themselves. So that's very important, but just empowerment within the community. And that's why we are doing what we are doing. And, the whole reason that we are doing the fundraiser is actually to raise awareness and then to raise funds for, it's called the Community Hub. And I think Dave can go into more detail with the Community Hub and just the various sections or layers of this Community Hub that we want to develop for the tune of Platfontein. Thanks.
Awesome, Shay. Q spent a lot of time in Platfontein. Myself, Shomon, and Q just recently went on a trip there that Shomon mentioned. Platfontein, it's such an interesting place. The people who live there are they're Un and they're Kwe, and they formed battalion, 3-1 battalion in the Angolan border war, and they were working with the SADF on sort of reconnaissance missions. So they were the soldiers tracking and leading these operations. Very brave soldiers, incredible bush skills. But after the war ended, they couldn't leave them there because they'd been fighting a war against the now government, SWAPO. And so they were moved back to South Africa, where they are originally from, because they were migrating the whole of Southern Africa. They were moved back outside of Kimberley to a place, first to Schmidtsdrift, where they lived in old army tents for 10 years. And then eventually they got given closer to Kimberley, RDP houses. But these people, they really, it really feels like they have just been forgotten. And I think what we are trying to address is, in some of these communities, there's just really such a sense of hopelessness. These people truly feel that like they have just been left in the dirt. And we want to raise a bit of hope and promote the knowledge and what they do have, because there is something so beautiful in those communities still. And I think something that society is yearning for now more than ever, this connection, which we've totally lost in our modern world. So I don't think, they live in hard conditions, but I think we have more to learn from them than they do from us, honestly.
Absolutely.
No, that's
Dave, what about the community hub? Sorry, I know we only have a limited time, but the community hub,
So obviously we want to allow these people to make livelihoods off their culture. So the skills and the knowledge they have, crafts. And so we want to develop infrastructure that can allow them to sell something to the world. And so that's going to start, it's going to commence with a food garden and an art gallery that we're going to build in Platfontein at the elder Martha we've been working with at her house. And then from there, we want to develop more. We want to create a bit of a market space where they can, where there's a stage and they can dance and they can sell the fresh produce. But eventually develop this into a bit of a tourism hub that can really bring people in to learn the indigenous skills. And that's something I've just been thinking about, is the indigenous skills have become incredibly trendy at the moment, herbalism, permaculture, natural building, even spirituality to a great extent. They've become so westernized, and they've always been an indigenous thing. So we just believe we need to focus that back, learn those skills, but learn them from indigenous people.
Amen, bro. Yeah.
That's so interesting, and I hope that a lot of people are gaining a lot of insight and knowledge from what you guys have to say. And also, if anybody is around the Garden Route area, sort of towards the wilderness, or want to support in any way or promote the campaign, there'll be links in the description. And is there any other ways that people can contact you or find out more information if you guys want to just
When it comes to the walk, definitely contact the IIYX Africa team. When it comes to witnessing the performance and coming to purchase perhaps artworks or bows and arrows and skirts and traditional created items, you can contact me on my phone. I'll give you the number to put in your link as well. But I think the IIYX Africa in the greater scheme of things is the best way to reach out and receive more information and offer assistance and receive knowledge.
Cool.
Definitely, we'll send you all the links.
Okay. Is there anything that you want to sort of end with, and some information or anything that you want to leave the viewers with?
Can I mention something? I just love to say that, when I got to go there with Q and Dave recently, I was so touched that even though they are suffering so deeply, they still, when they do their songs and their dance and their claps and the Gogos caring for babies and such, everything they do seems to eradicate negative infiltrating energy, and it seems to just shine this bright light and shatter whatever obstacles they're faced with. And that is something everyone could do with. Literally spending time with them, it feels like it just irons out all the creases. There's something magic alive in those original people, even though they are currently living as a displaced people. And it's invaluable, absolutely invaluable. And also, as they were mentioning, the hub, the art gallery, the food garden, another thing that they will be establishing from the fundraising is a truly medicinal way of healing the people in the original organic means. They're sitting there in Platfontein. They don't have refuse removal. We've taken them sanitary pads that can be recycled because there's no garbage removal. They're throwing those things in the land. So they need they've also got clinics, like government clinics, giving them government medicines that are giving them diabetes and swelling, and they can't eat their natural diet, so they're suffering with obesity and so many different medical problems that they are not accustomed to and not created for. And so it's wonderful the work Q7 is doing with them, because he's got the knowledge. He has that original knowledge and he keeps it alive and active. The plants are there. He utilizes them to heal and to treat the people that are displaced and misunderstood and confused and forgotten. And I'm just so grateful to know that a lot of the funds will also go to setting up a clinic based on the organic original medicines that God created for his creations. So thank you to the team and to Q very much for that as well. And to the Zan for keeping the joy alive no matter what.
Yeah, I just want to thank you guys for taking the time out to share this today. Also, thank you for the great work that you guys are doing. It takes these small steps to make greater things happen. And if nobody does anything, then nothing will get done. So awesome! Thank you so much.
Thank you for your support, solarkidd. We really appreciate it. And yes, I'd just like to say,
thanks so much.
Keep an eye out on our Instagram, Facebook, and then we will just give you all of those links, our email address, etc., etc. But we will be streaming live from the walk as well as from the show as well.
Awesome, man. Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you guys so much. This has been the other side of the sun. That is IIYX Africa, Shomon and Dave and Sherry. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. Peace, and we are out.
Ciao, bro, love. Bless.